welcome to How to Garden. Today I want to talk about a gardening concept that older gardeners know, it's been around for a long time, but younger gardeners or those that weren't taught by somebody else don't really seem to know. It's something that was brought to my attention by a couple of people a few months ago, and I figured I'd make a video so that these people can learn this concept. This video itself will be the first of a beginner's gardening series. I'm going to cover all kinds of very basic things that beginner gardeners need to know, but I figured I'd start with this one because it's going to actually answer a couple questions for a few people that have asked things of me over the last few months. This concept is called the mother plant concept, and what we have here is a black pepper plant. This black pepper plant will be a mother plant for me. The whole point of this particular plant is so that I can propagate from it, and that's what a mother plant is. It is a plant that you have usually in a protective area or in some type of situation where you can protect it, that you plan on propagating from. Now, this particular plant will always be in a pot. The reason it'll always be in a pot is because I'm in an area that we might get a few days of freeze, and black pepper is very, very susceptible to even the lightest of frost. The lightest of frost will completely kill this thing. So it will always be in a pot. Now, during summer or warm season, it'll be outside with all the rest of the plants. But when it's coming up on a cold snap, I'll be able to bring it in. This gives me the ability to protect it so that I'm protecting the investment that I have in the plant itself, because the point is to propagate it. I'll be propagating this and selling them off here locally, and because it's fairly rare, I can get a good amount of money for it. Now, in other places it's not that rare, but in my area it's extremely rare. So I'll be protecting it. Other things that you can do with mother plants is not just keep it in a pot. You know, sometimes a mother plant is something that you plant in the ground, but maybe in a different way than you normally would. For instance, behind me is a superior red mulberry. It's straight in the ground, but it's a mother plant for me because it's a very rare mulberry. It's protected so that it's protected from the winds and things like that. That's why it's planted so close to the hedgerow that's over there, is to help protect it. Now, the whole point of that particular tree is for me to propagate it so that I can sell it here locally to those that want that rare particular mulberry. Now, mother plants are usually something that you're also going to have the ability to take with you. So a lot of times they are in pots. For instance, I have a aloe that it's a mother plant for me. I've carried it around with me for over 20 years. That aloe was actually given to me by my grandmother. All other of that particular type of aloe that I have are propagated from that one, but that one is still in its pot. So even though I've moved 4 times since that plant was given to me over 20 years ago, when I've moved, I've left what I have propagated there, but just picked that potted plant up and took it with me, and then took pups that it produced and put those in the ground. If I ever move again, it'll be the same thing. I'll just take that plant with me. And it'll be the same with this, because this here will be a mother plant that'll be set up so that I can protect it, but I can also take it with me. So if you're a younger gardener, you're living in an apartment complex, or you're renting a house, and you get yourself a really rare plant or something that you just really want, or maybe it has sentimental value, you can use this concept called the mother plant concept, where it's kept in a protected situation that will allow you to take it with you. It's also something that is often used by nurseries. They generally don't call it that, they're just propagating from what they have, but they might have one particular plant that is of high value. So they're going to put it in a very protected situation, and if something happens, like an unexpected freeze, or maybe their lease ran out on the property they had, they can just pick the plant up and take it with them. It's not a terribly complicated concept, but the younger generation really doesn't seem to know it, which is the whole point of me making this video. And a lot of the older generation, they just do it automatically. A lot of times people learn from somebody that was older. Like me, I learned this concept from my grandmother. She had a whole bunch of plants in pots that she called her mother plants. And the whole point was, so if we got a freeze, she could take them inside and put them in the kitchen or the dining room, and then she could bring them back out, and she always propagated everything else that went in her yard from those. So if a freeze did come and it was really, really bad, and those plants that were outside were completely wiped out, which happens in Central Florida, she still had the original mother plant to propagate from. Now, I hope you found this interesting. If you have, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification so that when we make more videos, you'll automatically know. Thank you very much, and you have a good day.